President Biden told reporters this past weekend that the situation on the border was in fact a crisis. This was after he finished golfing, but White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki was quick to walk that back during yesterday's press briefing.
The president does not feel that children coming to our border seeking refuge from violence, economic hardships, and other dire circumstances is a crisis.
What is the real situation here? It's very clear this is in fact a crisis, and it's getting worse by the day. Take a look at these pictures from the tent facility in Donna, Texas. The picture on the left was taken back on March 23rd, less than a month ago. The picture on the right was taken on April 14th. You can see the difference in the size of this facility. They're adding tents all the time. So this is not a crisis. Let's talk a little bit more about this and welcome in Texas GOP chairman and former Congressman Allen West. He's also a retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel and the CEO and president of the Hope Center. Colonel West, great to see you as always.
Good to be with you. Thank you, John.
You can see this story start to fade from the media. Nobody cares about what's happening in the border right now. It's not on their minds. But they're going to start caring, Colonel West, because Emerald reported yesterday that 400 families a day are getting placed. Illegal immigrant families are getting placed in communities around the country. You guys, of course, have been seeing this down there on the border. At what point does this reach critical mass? At what point does the administration actually get honest with us? I mean, honest, in 2 days in a row.
Well, it's already reached that critical mass here. And when I listen to the words of Jen Psaki, I mean, she is absolutely lying. This is not about children coming to the United States of America trying to, quote unquote, seek asylum. First of all, why would children be seeking asylum? Children should be with their parents. But we are seeing thousands of illegal immigrant males, for instance, 3,000 to 4,000 being housed right here in the Kay Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center in Dallas. I just talked to a couple of folks who are down in some of our border communities, and what they find happening is absolutely horrible. We have livestock that are being killed. We have SUVs and trucks that are being taken away from people. We have folks being followed to their homes to see where they're parking, because what they're doing is they're taking these vehicles and they're transporting these illegal immigrants all throughout the interior of the state of Texas. So this is a major issue. This is a major issue when it comes to criminality and crime. It's a major issue with our national security. It's a healthcare issue, and it's also an issue when it comes to the human and sex trafficking that we have here in Texas, the #1 state for that. So Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have not come down here to see what's happening. Jen Psaki has not come down here to see what's happening, but it has already reached a critical mass for the people that live along the border communities in the state of Texas.
Now, there's going to be a dissipation, perhaps. Normally there is, because of the weather situation down there. It's too hot in the summer for people to make it across the border here. And in the past, what has happened is that as that happens, the stories, disappear from the headlines as well. Nothing actually changes when it comes to members of Congress or the president. Do you think that is ultimately their long-term goal here, is just to hope the American people become numb to this crisis? If they don't call it a crisis, they can just make everybody forget about it.
Yeah, it's without a doubt the wait out mode, and just the American people will forget about it. They definitely won't remember it come 2022 or anything, but the people here in Texas will remember it, because if you want to talk about an issue that is bringing Republicans, Democrats, Independents, or whatever together, it's the issue of the state of Texas being flooded with illegal immigrants. And you look at some of the Rio Grande Valley mayors, such as the mayor down in Del Rio, Texas, they are livid about what is happening. Even the mayors over in Eagle Pass and Laredo, they are livid and how it is really taxing their resources, and it's going to tax their ability to be able to provide social services to people who are here illegally.
Real quick question for you. George W. Bush is coming out with a new book. He's painting immigrants. He says one of his biggest regrets from his presidency is not doing more on this issue. 30 seconds, Colonel West. What do you say to that?
Either you're for the rule of law or you're not for the rule of law. And if I remember right, it's very specific about the federal government should be doing in protecting the sovereignty of the United States of America, and also the sovereignty of a state like Texas that shares a 1,200-mile border with a foreign nation.
All right, either you are for the rule of law or you are not. Colonel West, great to see you, sir. Thanks so much.
My pleasure.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.